It's a Midwest thing, y'all. They ain't got a clue. Why my cutlass blue and I got them things on that motherfucker.
Do it just like that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Midwest Mouthful. Ryan Tierney,
Jeremy Phillips,
Dave Timmerman, video and editing. Get right into it. NFL, Ty Hill trade. Tyreek, boy, he's going to Miami.
man, Miami.
Miami stacking them up, guys.
Yeah,
It was the 22, 29th pick and the 50th pick and a 4th, and in 23 a 4th and a 6th.
and Hill gets guaranteed 4-year, $120 million extension. That includes $72.2 million.
If you ask me, it's robbery, bro. The Dolphins just got robbed straight up in daylight. Because, listen, they're going to take the 29th or something, and they might find a guy like Jahan Dotson, who's a 4-4 version of Tyreek, maybe slightly slower, but has all similar tools. And then they ended up with the 50th, the 4th, and the 6th, and Jahan's on a rookie deal, and they ain't got to pay him that.
The Chiefs just signed Juju.
Yeah, but Juju's good, was a good signing,
That's
but
a
he's
good
not
replacement
Tyreek.
For what they
Yeah, but
needed that
the
way.
Chiefs also-
He's not Tyreek, but it gives you a guy that can be a number one.
But they've lost everything. What did that picture show the other day?
Yeah.
There's like 5 of them in a row, and there's
The
only
only one
one
left is Hardman.
Yeah.
They've lost
You better hope
Pringle,
them Mahomes is
Watkins,
as advertised.
Robinson.
Yeah, that's why I say go get a Dotson, and then you got Juju, and then you got Hardeman, and maybe even draft another one with like that 4th that you got from them.
Yeah.
Because you can get 2 guys like there that try to give the same production, but you got them on so much cheaper deal. And that's the way you want to do it with being able to pay Pat that, at least for right now. Winning's going to matter to Pat again here in a few more years. It's all going to keep getting restructured
Oh, yeah.
the way that Tom does. But Pat's going to cash in right now, and I don't blame him. He should for a few years. He's
yeah.
already won a ring, and he's kind of earned that right in my mind. I'm going to say win Chiefs all day out of that.
I mean, you still got Will Fuller out there that they can sign too.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he stays healthy, he's as dangerous to anybody, but he just
Yeah,
needs to
there's-
be healthy.
Some interest there with Fuller and Cleveland, I hear. So,
Well, that's because of
The
some
Sean.
other guy.
yeah.
Yeah. Some other
We'll talk
guy.
about that in a few.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that Chiefs won that, but I mean, it does make the Dolphins immediately explosive.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you already
especially-
had Waddle, now you got him.
And the Dolphins added Cedric Wilson too, and placed franchise tag on Gesicki.
Is it make or break for Tua now?
Yes.
He's got all.
Oh yeah,
But my
definitely.
issue is can Tua be that guy? Like, he doesn't have that arm strength to get the ball where it might need to be.
Yeah.
Like, is that the quarterback that can lead that team? You've got Waddle on one side, you got Hill on the other, you got your slot,
So
you
let
got
me
your
ask
second.
you-
Like, you have all these weapons. Can you get them? To
Okay.
Let's hope that he had his best off season. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, let's hope that. But let me ask you this: with the signing of Teddy Bridgewater as the backup in Miami and a new head coach, if Tua ain't getting it done, how many games in before?
He's going to start the whole season. Bridgewater, not anymore.
You don't think so?
If he never got that, like that, I talked about this last night with a buddy of mine. That knee injury derailed his entire career because he was on the precipice of being a star quarterback, and that knee injury destroyed any chance that he had.
Yeah, because he had
Doesn't
a lot
have
of
the arm
momentum.
strength.
He had a lot of momentum building towards that, even though we didn't even know if he was still going to be it, but the momentum
Yeah.
was carrying him towards that. The knee injury took
The only
everything.
thing that could revitalize
For
that
sure.
guy's career in Miami is a West Coast offense where everybody's running like the old Rams greatest show on turf.
Well, I mean, they with the
Bridgewater's
players
not a
they
smart quarterback. He's just a dude that can get you the ball in tight spaces. He's
with who they have, I
drags
mean,
and all that, they probably could with some of the.
yeah, Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, Cedric Wilson, Gesicki, Devontae Parker, Waddle,
They got
Tyreek Hill.
Armstead to protect Tua.
I think
you know,
that's the biggest acquisition they've had.
I mean, yeah.
See that though, I was looking at a thing the other day, and it said something like the Bengals spent this much on their O-line. It was the same as what they spent on Armstead, and we got 3 guys.
Yeah,
so
but I think it was a
we'll talk about
desperation
it.
signing for them. I just think, from a personnel standpoint,
Yeah.
it was huge.
Yeah, they had to have
That
that.
keeps
Yeah.
Waddle's blind side, or not Waddle, but Tua's blind side free.
Yeah,
It's not his blind side, he's left-handed.
yeah, didn't think about that, huh?
Right tackle would be his blind side.
Maybe they'll move Armstead to right.
It could happen.
If he's that good, he should be able to go to that other side, because you're not going to pay that much to a dude that's just going to protect something that Tua can see. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah.
for sure. All right, we'll go to the Watson trade debacle, whatever you'd like to call it.
I got some things to say about
For this,
Oh.
3 first, what is it, the 23 third, and then, what is it, 4th and 5th, and 24? And then-
Yeah.
So that's what? That's
Six
six total picks.
Six total picks for a player that hasn't played in 2 years. That has 23.
Oh, so the fourth rounder is 22 and 24.
Yeah, two
Okay.
fourth rounders this year and in 24.
Oh, okay. Then a third and 23 and a fifth and 24th and fifth and 24.
They flip flop the fifth rounds picks. Basically, is what they did.
Okay.
So it's just Houston gets the first rounder in 20 this year, 23, 24, plus the third rounder in 23, and the two fourth rounders in 22 and 24.
Yeah.
Is really what Houston got out of it.
Well, let me ask one thing about this. Do you think Amari Cooper is a true one, and for how long?
If he's going to be a number one, it's only going to be for 1 or 2 years.
That's what I thought. That's what I was telling Luke.
If,
I
going back to
told
what you
Luke
said,
he had
if
2
Will
years in
Fuller
his
goes
toes.
there, it'd be huge for them.
Yeah, they need a number 2 like that.
Yeah, they really do, because I just don't think Peoples-Jones is ready to take that leap yet.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably the guy who gets it though.
He does
not.
if Will Fuller don't.
What I say, did Cleveland jump the gun?
Yes.
You know, now there's another accusation already. There's other things that are. I mean, there's 23 or something now. I think.
I'm going to go on my short rant here for Baker because I like Baker. I'm not a Browns fan. I like Baker.
You okay? You go pro Baker, and me and Jeremy will be anti Baker because I think we
Sweet.
got enough for that.
Now, mine's not coming from a talent standpoint, but that dude took them to their first winning season since 2011-ish, and their first playoff victory since before they sold the team to Baltimore.
It's 1994, bro.
I'm not saying it's all on him for bringing them out of obscurity, but you guys have had like 700 quarterbacks since '99.
Well, let me get this. All right, here's my thing. I'm going to let Jeremy be the judge and be the verdict of all this. But me, see, I think the opposite. I think we found out the way Baker's handled things and been a crybaby behind closed doors. He's pushed out people. He wanted him over Beckham. He always was a him type of thing. I think he's more of a me guy than people realize. Now, at first, I was kind of blinded too, because Baker just seems like a very likable guy, hard worker, you know, overachiever basically up until this point. And you know, I thought that he was that spark for the Browns, and while I think that he had that attitude to be the spark, it still kind of demanded him to want to be the man when other quarterbacks are selfish like that. So it didn't work out the way that I was envisioning it to, because it took for him to put others in front of him, and I still don't think he did all the way. That's the way what I'm getting from these reports. And I'm looking at it like, you know, I always defended Baker. Jeremy know this. I've very been pro Baker most of the time. Dude, I've defended Baker since he was picked. And I just starting to see things right now, and it just became glaringly obvious, even in his good year 2 years ago, that was supposed to be a decent year and stuff, he just looks limited.
Well, I'm saying coming off that injury-filled last season, that
I'm not going to judge him by last year all the way, because
Right.
it was just a screwed up year. But we're talking even the year before, there were throws where you see Baker throw, and it's just like, why didn't we catch this on tape? Why wasn't nobody saying? He looks like he's literally throwing his life into the ball. Yeah, to get it to go where it goes. When Josh Allen, like Jeremy loved, okay. And you know, me and Jeremy's always been infatuated with, you know, the bigger, stronger guys like that. Who isn't? That's the way that, you know, the combine and all that always has.
Right.
But it just looks so easier off other guys' hands. Baker looks like it's kind of
I read a report the other day that said Baker's working with the same
as Pat
release.
Mahomes.
Yeah.
I know. He needs something. It's just, it can't be lack of strength, because the dude's built well. He's 200 plus,
He's just
man.
short.
Yeah.
He's not a big guy.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's the shorter arm. I don't know. Arm.
I mean, it could be a tentative thing. Like, I
He
mean,
needs to
he
be
had
working with.
OBJ
He needs to
there.
be working with the quarterback coach that worked with Drew Brees, since they're about the same height.
Yeah,
I feel like
different QB,
I
though.
feel like Cleveland mortgaged the future for a guy that might not pan out the way you think he's going to.
All right. Well, speaking of that, so a report has since come out, basically saying that last year the Browns offered Baker $30 million a year on a contract, and Baker turned it down. And then after he turned it down, went and got injured and refused to basically get to surgery when the Browns asked him to.
They want him to do it earlier in the year, and basically.
Well, I can understand that.
So, starting in October last year, Cleveland basically said, what's our other options? And I guess the only option that they could come up with was a guy that hasn't played in 2 years that has 23 sexual assault allegations.
Huge huge.
I think what I said a year ago, I said it at the middle to the end of last year to everybody, and everybody told me no. He's washed. No, don't touch him. No, this or that, and it's Matt Ryan for a third. I think that made sense.
And
Cleveland. Matt Ryan for a third in Cleveland, and then and then maybe pushing Baker out for whatever, a
Look
third
at the
or something you
Watson
could
deal
get.
compared to the fucking Wilson deal.
Yeah, well, Wilson would have definitely been the guy to get.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm just saying, say the Wilson ship already sailed,
Yeah.
and you're Cleveland still, and you got to make this move like it was. The Wilson already sailed. They lost out on that deal, obviously.
Yeah.
And why wouldn't you have went and just got Ryan and called it a year and risked? Like, what, you're scared of the Dolphins or the Panthers or somebody else to have
I think
Deshaun?
that they could.
Well, no, they were the only AFC team
I think
that
they
was
could
still
have
in
traded
contention.
Baker and a pick and got Kirk Cousins. Because they were gonna make Kirk Cousins available up until they gave him that extension because there was nothing else out there for them to get. Because they weren't gonna give up the future for Deshaun Watson like Cleveland did. But the only thing that I'd be mad about is like, what if Deshaun Watson ultimately decided that he didn't want to go to Cleveland and you guys burned that bridge with Baker? Like,
They would have went after Matt Ryan, but Deshaun said yes, and then Matt Ryan. got
But
traded.
let's be real.
That was
Deshaun never really wanted to come to Cleveland. And then after the whole Baker thing coming out, the whole Baker talking about, well, I want to be traded now, crying like a baby. And Cleveland coming back out saying, no, we're not trading you.
Well, let's just say this. Where does Baker go now? What does he do?
there's that Carolina.
Nope, there was one spot that I said, and this is the best spot for him, I'm going to tell him was, it's going to re-humble him, it's going to put the fire back on him, it's going to be in a system where he's going to be able to develop. I've told Jeremy this for over a year too. When I said Ryan would go, he said, well, where do you think Baker would go? I said, I don't know, he's playing so bad right now, he seems like maybe he needs to go to a backup role. And I'm always going to stick by this. There's plenty of roles that would be really well for him and different reasons. I say Arizona because it's the high-flying type of offense that Murray and him both ran at Oklahoma, and I think Arizona's and Murray's little. He could go down and get hurt at any time, and then Baker comes in and looks good, and he's got these nice weapons. And
I was just thinking, if he's not going to take a backup role, you got Carolina.
yeah,
You got
or Seattle.
I thought if he's going to go to that backup role, Tampa.
People say go to Tampa and then wait for Tom for a year because now there's a report to him to Miami. Other people have said go behind even Rodgers, push out Love, and go just push out Jordan Love and go behind Rodgers, knowing he's going in 2 years.
I mean,
I just think it's more immediate out in Arizona. Murray's already made rumbles about not wanting to do that. They might not want to pay him all that money.
Yeah, they're not.
Baker's a cheaper option. He can run that offense, I believe, because it's
Yeah.
more of a dink or dunk quick. Oklahoma, get rid of the ball,
a lot of shotgun.
scramble around, a shotgun only type deal.
If I was Baker, I'd sit around and wait.
Why not now?
What happens in week, I don't know.
They're going to release him.
What
Nobody's
happens in
going to
week
trade.
7? And I don't know.
I don't think
Rodgers
Cleveland
gets
is.
hurt. Say Rodgers
I don't
gets
think
hurt.
Cleveland is going to release them because they're still on the hook.
They're saying Pittsburgh's waiting for them. to release
And that's
him.
why I don't think Cleveland's going to release them because Pittsburgh just came out and said
Pittsburgh will hop on that.
if the Browns release Baker Mayfield, we will sign him.
I think so too.
If they're not going to release him, they're going to trade him probably to the NFC and probably cheaper. But I was also hearing Cleveland wanted a first rounder for Baker.
It never happened.
Not
Yeah.
after, if he wouldn't have had that injury-filled season.
Well, here's the
they
thing,
could have
and
possibly gotten
listen, here's another reason that Cleveland's probably going to have to just suck it up and take a third or possibly even a
I think
fourth
he can get a
rounder.
second.
I think he's worth a fifth.
But I think you can
Here's
get a
why.
second
Just because you
based
know the
on-
leverage of the situation,
Yeah.
I think he's worth a fifth.
Everybody knows Baker no longer wants to be in Cleveland, and everybody knows Cleveland no longer wants Baker.
Or maybe
There's
a
zero-
fourth, more be a fourth and a fifth,
Dude,
fourth and
dude.
22,
Yeah, Cleveland and
fifth
Baker
and
neither one of
23,
them have a
or
leverage
fourth and
in where-
fourth.
Yeah,
or
that's what I'm
something.
saying. There's no
Yeah.
leverage here.
Like they're
So-
gonna it's either going to be released or
So maybe if I'm Tampa Bay, yeah, and
But if
you
Tampa
have
Bay really wants him, then they might come up and say, you know what, take a third. And Cleveland
Yeah.
says, you know what, it's better than take nothing. Let's
ding,
take
ding,
it.
ding,
Let's
take
go.
a
might be able to
third.
get one of those
You're no longer on the hook for his
seconds
$18 million.
from a good team because their picks are lower.
Yeah.
Why not secure some dude that's 26?
Do you have any free agent signings you want to talk about at all? I mean, there was. I know, Dave, your boys had a few nice ones. too.
Yeah,
They got-
Super hyped about Zadarius Smith.
and
yeah, I
and
kind of
Jordan
figured you
Hicks
are.
had a good year too,
Yeah.
and now he's there. So
We also got Smith. We got Harrison Phillips from Buffalo. But we got a corner too, but I can't remember what his name was. Yeah, we got Jordan Hicks. Our linebacker core might be super sweet.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if Barr's going to. I don't even think they're going to offer Barr a contract now with the signings that they just made.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah. Barr, yeah. That might be a good option for another team out there looking for a veteran linebacker.
He
But-
can't stay on the field.
Guess what? Neither can Darius Smith, though, either. So,
So maybe they should resign Anthony Barr. Then once one goes down, you just put
there
it
you
the
go. Or, yeah, we'll rotate him in and out. You know, one thing I do want to touch on real quick, though, is that Devontae Adams trade
Yeah.
to the Raiders. I mean,
Yeah. That's a first and a second this year. It's nice if you draft a good receiver with that.
Yeah.
And like I said, you get rid of the money. It's just kind of like a Tyreek type. You're just flipping into younger guys, less money, and you don't have to put all that money there, so you can still build a defense for your good for the quarterback as far as
my big-
Rodgers there. Is what you're doing. You're trying to keep a good defense for him.
I still think they're going to have to draft a receiver.
they're going to draft a receiver. They got the 22nd
sure.
and the 29th pick
You got
in
rid
the
of
first
Valdez
round.
Scantling. Who do you got right now? Cobb and
Lazard,
yeah.
because you lost
Cobb and some dude.
Laquan St. Brown, I think, signed with the Bears. So you lost him, too.
You literally have to.
You got Tanya coming back.
They'll probably pick a first and a third or something on a wide receivers this year.
Yeah, they got
They're
two
going to
first
get him
rounders.
some young, good weapons.
So my question is
Julio
this:
might end up-
how
That would be a good one too.
So how is it that? Because in my opinion, Devontae Adams is a way better receiver than Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
You know, so how is it that Green Bay only got a first and a second rounder this year, but the Chiefs fleeced the Dolphins for 5 picks?
So with that being
A lot of
said,
late rounders, though. I mean, I
yeah,
get
but
it,
the Tyreek trade to Miami kind of came out of nowhere. Like it wasn't like it was like Tyreek doesn't want to play here. He's not going to play.
I get
here
it.
without this. Like
That trade was based off this
Adams
Adams
said
trade.
that, like he's like, "Fuck you guys, I'm not playing here."
Yeah.
He turned down a deal from them, didn't he? Like he just didn't want to play here because they didn't extend him when he wanted to.
No, so basically what happened in Green Bay was he enjoyed his time in Green Bay, enjoyed playing with Aaron Rodgers. I watched his press conference. It was just always his dream to play with Derek Carr in the NFL, and he just basically sat down with Green Bay and said, "Hey, I appreciate my time here, but I just want to play somewhere else."
I just think that's where you get the deal from. Like they took what they could get, and it's not like they got a bad deal on this trade.
I don't think they did either.
I don't think they got any better offers than that.
Yeah.
Well, I think they were only adamant about going to one
First and
spot.
second's nice.
It,
Yeah, but
it really is.
I don't think Adams had a no trade clause like Deshaun.
No,
Watson.
he didn't. He
So
was
they
on a
could've sent
franchise.
Devontae Adams
He was on a
wherever they wanted to.
Yeah, he was franchise tagged. But that just goes to show you that Gutekunst allowed
Yeah,
Devontae
Green Bay's got a
to.
good management group.
For
It's just
sure.
that-
I mean, you know,
That's why that deal's so much different, though, because
I get it, but I just feel that 5 picks for
I
Tyreek
feel like
Hill's a
Miami's in
little.
a win now mode when they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, we'll see. They were close though last year to making the playoffs. That's why they're trying to go all
So
in.
you
to see if
said
they can
free
make it.
agent moves?
I had. Well, I'm flipping over to the Matt Ryan right now. The
Yeah.
Matt Ryan I had. We obviously said for a third earlier, but I said, well, is Ryan going to last more than a year? You got to think they had Rivers a year, now Wentz a year, now Ryan. What is it going to
Didn't
be?
they
a
just
year?
restructure his contract too? I thought.
I mean, I'm just saying, it just seems like that place right now just
Okay,
is
so-
turning over QBs. Jacoby Brissett,
It's Cleveland Jr., bro.
Well, with
Andrew Luck. Look
with
at the
that
last
being
6
said,
years or
Yeah,
5 years.
5 different quarterbacks starting the last 5 years. It's
Phillip
like, yeah.
Rivers- I feel like Philip Rivers just wanted to go test somewhere and play, and he's going to retire anyways. I don't
Pretty
think it
much.
matters where he played at.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz is not the MVP candidate that he was back in the day. I don't even think. I think that was a product of the offense there. I don't think Carson Wentz was ever going to be that guy. So they already knew going in that they were going to trade him.
Well-
Matt Ryan is probably the best option they've had.
I don't
Philip
really-
Rivers was great, but let's not act like Matt Ryan's terrible.
He's
He had no talent and or next to no talent in Atlanta for the last 4 seasons.
So many years that had he been there, a lot of them. I mean,
Because even the last year with Julio there, Julio played like what 2 or 3 games. Like he was injured most of the year.
that's what I'm
That
saying.
dude's been trying to carry that team and nobody to carry them with.
that's what I was going to say earlier. We were talking about that Armstead, and it was the Bengals O line, right? Tackle Collins, guard, what is it, Karras, and then guard Kappa. And it's like you signed, like you only had $28 million guaranteed in them versus 43 for Armstead. And then you had like 73 versus 75 for Armstead that they paid him over that same time period. I just thought that the Bengals did a win there. Did they get way better? I think people are on there like a little bit overreacting, and I'm a Bengals guy. Like, oh, they did this, they did that. No, they just improved a lot. They didn't guarantee that they're going to have the best. People are acting like they built the Great Wall in China in front of. No, it's not. It's not that. They went from 32nd to 18th. They went from 29th to 16th. They went to the middle of pack with a few guys, and then with Collins, they went from 23rd to 6th or 4th or something. The right tackle. That's the legit move right there.
The Bengals attacked this offseason like any Super Bowl loser or playoff team should, and they attacked exactly what they needed.
Yeah, but
they didn't go out and make some big flashy wide receiver signing.
I thought it was the right signings. You're just improving. You're not trying to get the top 5 player at every.
You were literally one play away from winning that Super Bowl.
Yes,
and the reason that you weren't winning that Super Bowl by more is because your line basically sucked.
Line, yeah.
Now,
I feel
you literally addressed your glaring weak point after a Super Bowl loss going into a season where you're bringing back the same roster, but you improved the one spot that sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
That puts them close to the top of a loaded AFC.
It gives them a chance. That's what I said.
It really does.
To be able to make a run again in a loaded AFC, which is the next thing I'm talking about. And that was 13 teams, 7 spots. Go ahead and count them. I mean, you got
we got them right here. Let's go ahead and say the Jets, the Texans, and the Jaguars are already out of that conversation.
Yeah, we'll just say that.
So
for now
we're talking about the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Broncos, Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Titans, and Colts.
I think you can take the Steelers off of that list.
I think so too.
You think
so? Still 12. You got 7 spots for 12. Is it 7 again, or is it back to 6?
No, it's still 7.
It's staying 7.
Yeah, it's staying 7.
I mean, I'd probably say Cincinnati's going to win that division. So they're probably.
I don't know about that. I could see Cincinnati going 10-7 and getting a wild card.
Yeah, but you could say that with any team too. I mean,
yeah, but I'm just saying versus being
if they can come
13
off hot
and 4,
and not have a Super Bowl letdown.
Being 13-4, I'll take 10-7 in my opinion if I'm gambling.
I'm not sure if I'd put the Browns on that list, but maybe a low seed, just depending on what they do at wide receiver, because their defense is going to be good.
If Watson plays, it's all about if Watson plays.
That's the thing with Cleveland.
You've got the running game, you've got the O-line, you've got the defense. You've got to put it all together with Watson and some receivers.
You got to, probably try to bring Landry back, being you're not going to be able to draft one until the 2nd round. Maybe you wait and don't take one till the 3rd, and you get the
AFC East is tough to call.
The AFC East, now it's going to the Bills, bro. I'll tell you now, the Bills are going to win that division.
You still got Bill Belichick that apparently can just fucking throw a bum ass.
I get it, but you also have Josh Allen in the same.
Mac Jones.
I don't think he's a bum, but I think if you put him on another team, I
think he's limited very much.
He fits in that scheme. They've groomed him to fit in that scheme.
Yeah, but now who's the offensive coordinator in New England now with Josh McDaniels being in?
Karma just being karma, bro.
Who cares?
He just jumps right in there.
Yeah, I mean,
baby?
It's still going to be the same basic offense.
Well, of course it is.
Most of that spot, it's like you're still going to run this offense.
All right, so let's go.
We're going to run the ball. We're going to beat the crap out of people with defense, and Mac Jones isn't going to cost me games.
Let's go AFC West. You got to win that division.
That's what I mean, dude.
But that's like the opposite end of the spectrum. Like you go to the AFC East, you don't know because there's good defenses and everything. But like the AFC West just upgraded everything.
Everything. They're so loaded.
And the bad thing is that the Chiefs look like they downgraded, and they're still probably going to be a good team.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders just added the best receiver in the game to go with his best friend from college.
Yeah.
And their defense wasn't bad. They've got a decent running game. They've got a decent.
You could argue. They got that chemistry. And the chemistry. That Chase and Burrow or anything like that. You see what it does, man. That Adams car could be number 1 in the NFL this year. You never know.
I think with everything added in the AFC West, I still think the Chargers are the most scary.
Go.
They added a number 1, probably one of the best corners in the game in J.C. Jackson.
Yeah.
So now they can lock up opponents in number 1.
And got
their
Khalil
defense
Mack.
already wasn't bad. They had Joey. They got Joey Bosa. No, they got Nick or Joey.
I got Joey.
They got Joey. Like their defense was good. And they've still got all those weapons. Like
yeah.
But then you look at the Broncos, who literally, if you look at their games last year, were a quarterback away from being great. And now they have Clutch Wilson.
Yeah, they got Russell Wilson. They also signed Randy Gregory. How about DJ Jones? Signed him too. So, I mean,
Like, if any division is going to be the most fun to watch, it's going to be that division.
I think Denver's going to pull it out.
What, the West?
Yeah,
For
I think
sure.
Denver might.
Like, it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think Denver's going to take the.
It just makes
The
you want
West.
to watch every game.
I
That
feel like
division,
you
every
can't-
divisional
Oh,
game
yeah,
is
that
fire.
division-
You
it's gonna be-
literally pick
yeah.
any of those 4 teams
Yeah.
and have a chance to win that division.
Mm-hmm.
Like he says the Broncos, I'm saying the Chargers. Like if you say the Chiefs, like you still can't.
I'm going Raiders.
But I'm saying like you still can't go wrong with any of those picks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you really can because it's that division is going to be.
Yeah,
That one there might be the one to send 3 teams to the playoffs in the
it
AFC.
could be.
Yeah, because the AFC South, I'm not too sure about.
You got the Titans and the Colts in the AFC South.
I think it's just the Titans, to be honest with you, because Matt Ryan's a nice addition over there in Indy, but who's he throwing to besides Pittman?
You know, yeah, Paris Campbell can't stay healthy, but you know what? You also have, I do believe,
I mean,
still got.
are they just paying him to hand the ball off?
I mean, look, you still got Jarvis Landry, Julio Jones, and OBJ all available still. I mean, granted, OBJ ain't gonna probably play until November.
I don't think any of those guys are going to a team that might make the playoffs. They're going to cherry pick a team that is going to be a contender.
I get it, but I mean,
They're talking about
who's
OBJ
this?
going back to Cleveland because now Watson's the quarterback.
Yeah, well, you know,
Crazy. Well, flip it over to draft needs, guys. Where I think we're at 16 to 20. I wrote down 20 on the
25.
because I had it all wrong and stuff. It's just been one of those weeks. Yeah, Jeremy caught me on that one. 16, you got Philadelphia, and I do believe that they drafted earlier already.
Yeah,
at
they
this
had
point,
drafted
so this
15.
This would be their what? Yeah, so they just had 1 pick, and they still have 2 in this. So whoever they don't get at what, linebacker, corner, safety, D tackle, wide receiver, you know, they're going to address one of them right here. So if they take a wide receiver here, or I feel like a wide receiver, or a corner, I think there's going to be a lot of them there. The D tackles, one of the Georgia boys could be there and be very,
Yeah.
very, very enticing to take for them. Flip over to 17. Oh, you got the Chargers.
Chargers, I got them going. Their team needs a D tackle, offensive tackle, wide receiver, linebacker, tight end.
Yep.
They're going to take one of those Georgia D tackles, bro.
You think for sure?
The Jordan Davis, Devontae Wyatt, they're
Yeah,
taking
so
one of
see,
them.
if
They
Philadelphia-
also just acquired Sebastian Joseph Day. Like he's not terrible, but he's not a household name.
Right, but I mean,
This could be a best available.
there you got to realize though. Here's the thing: a lot of people are saying Jordan Davis is a better nose tackle than D tackle, and he might be better suited for a 3-4.
Yeah.
The Chargers run basically a 3-4 because they moved Joey Bosa from down to a linebacker. Maybe
Like
this
a
is
Haynesworth type.
Yes.
I think if you've got a good offensive tackle here, you take it. Protect Justin Herbert. I mean, your sense of the matter with taking that D tackle makes sense, but is your need greater at offensive tackle or?
Yeah, we don't know that.
Like that defense is pretty stacked right now. They just
It
got
is.
J.C. Jackson and Khalil Mack.
Yeah,
So they
you're
got
right.
Mack on one side and Bosa on the other.
So why
Your
not?
D tackle just
Savage.
needs to take up space at this point. Doesn't
And
have to
that's
be
what
anybody
Jordan
fantastic.
Davis. I mean,
Yeah. But if you have one of those guys, imagine what you do have. Wow, if you put Davis and Mack and Bosa in them, that's just
with Derwin
insane.
James.
Yeah.
This is probably a D tackle or an offensive tackle, depending on who's available. Like I said, best available because you're not
Yeah.
going to take a tight end that high.
No.
At
not
that
in
point,
this-
the
not
top
in this
receivers
class.
are probably gone,
Yeah.
and didn't they just resign? Didn't they resign?
Yeah, Mike Williams, and they still got Keenan Allen.
So they don't need a
They're
a
not
receiver,
desperate.
but it would be
It would
super
be
Yeah.
nice, though. It would be nice to have a
But,
little
like,
speedy guy in
so
there for 'em.
basically, your needs at that pick are a D tackle, offensive tackle, possibly a linebacker.
Yeah, they have that in there.
So I think it's going to be best available as according to your needs.
Yeah,
Got New Orleans quarterback, wideout, corner, tight end, tackle. I mean, we all know that if there's a certain quarterback they're in love with and he falls, it's a done deal. If not, I mean, it's probably another wide receiver.
see Drake London maybe going there,
Yeah.
or quarterback wise, maybe Matt
I'd go
Corral.
with Michael Thomas before I start drafting receivers. Like
They don't have
I feel
nobody
like
else
Michael
but
Thomas
him though.
does-
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I feel like Michael Thomas doesn't want to play there. Like,
He won't after this year, I don't believe. I think he'll give it a shot. I think it's pretty much done.
He had surgery though and was out for the
Yeah.
season.
Yeah, for sure. I think we all know that's pretty much Philadelphia. That's just going to be the leftover. Whatever they've already filled of the 2 positions up there, whatever they got left or calls, I think that's
Or
the
trade
best
out.
available. Or like you said, a trade out, or even to
Could
next
be,
year. You flip
yeah.
it to next year
That's what
first. and-
happens when you have 37 first-round picks. And
Yeah, I got him
Well,
going.
you can gamble with somebody. You can take their first next year, and then if they flop and go down there instead of having 19, you could end up with 11 And then even if they're a playoff team and they're 22
Yeah.
or something, and they made the 7th spot and they got the 22nd or 23rd pick, you'd end up with an 11th pick on
I
top
like a
of that
cornerback
again.
here for Philly.
Philly.
Yeah, McDuffie or Booth, one of those two.
What about Pittsburgh, guys?
I got them
QB,
going
offensive
O-line.
tackle, yeah, guard.
I think they're
Corner.
a dumpster fire waiting to happen.
I just think there's a lot of holes on that
you
team.
lose Ben, Juju's not back.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of
You
holes
have a
on
say-
that.
yeah,
Trubisky's your starting quarterback.
But Trubisky's not a bad quarterback, though. He had a winning record in Chicago. He just had
We'll
Matt Nagy
see.
as
This
his head
is
coach.
definitely going to define him. If he's trash this year, then
Yeah, I mean,
And you
Close
don't even
to
have to
book
have
on.
like an awesome winning season. Like if you can keep them competitive and close to 500,
and he might be the quarterback for
I just don't think
Pittsburgh.
these guys draft a quarterback this draft.
Yeah.
I think they
No.
wait and see what they got.
They go offensive line.
Or wait until Baker gets released 2 days before the draft.
yeah,
I like Kenyon Green here, the offensive guard.
yeah.
Yes.
It's not a bad pick for sure. Anything to help them in their line, it's bad too.
Because they only
There's
signed
nothing.
Mason Cole to upgrade what they had on their
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If
'Cause they
Kenyon
lost
Green's
Graham.
gone, then to take
Yeah.
Trevor Penning to tackle.
Something like that, or like they got here Devontae Wyatt, a D lineman too. Them Georgia boys are all going to go around there.
Yeah,
These 10 to 22, 23, they're off by then. Both them boys are gone in that area for sure.
They're probably
Um,
gonna, with the way their team is, the Steelers are going to go best available.
For
And
sure.
it probably
It's the
won't even
smart
be based
pick.
on need. It's-
yeah. They've always been an organization that drafts smart.
Yep.
And
So
they'll build through some kind of free agency or trade
Excuse
at
me.
some point.
they'll be the team to pull somebody that we've never heard of and draft him in the first round, and we're like, who? And then the dude turned out to be a stud.
So we got the Midwest Mouthful draft profiles again, guys. We did the DBs part 1. Dave didn't get the memo, so he's got all these different guys that we got to talk about. Me and Jeremy got the main 4 that were circled in that memo that confused Dave a little bit. We got Sauce Gardner was the first one, 6'2", 190, press corner. He's a top 10 pick.
Oh, for sure.
He's top 10 pick. He reminds me a little bit of Akuda from a few years ago.
Yeah,
Ohio State.
yeah,
Very
very much so.
Yeah, very similar.
Also-
Very good man. I mean, great man. Great bump and run.
yeah.
Dude. Good recovery. Not great. I had there. Needs to improve on his tackling. He's just okay at zone. He overplays the zone. Needs to be more aggressive. Like,
Yeah.
gives too much cushion in
He's
zones
a bit
and stuff
grabby at
like
times
that.
too.
Yes, very grabby. He did never give up a TD though, but he did play weaker comp. So you got to combine to it. But he did play good comp for them few games, and he didn't give it up. Notre Dame, Bama, and them. He didn't give up nothing to them
Can't
guys.
go wrong with his name either.
Yeah, when they call you Sauce, then that's for a reason. Very good at corner blitz coming off the edge.
Yes, yeah.
That's where he does tackle well because he can he can get you when you ain't seeing him
He's been
basically.
in with a team that likes to run man more.
Mhm.
He's not a zone guy.
Yeah, he's a man press all the way. Man press all the way. He's a press corner, 100%.
But
man.
I mean, at that size, why wouldn't you be?
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these dudes, some of them are bigger, man. I was rather impressed.
Yeah.
You have anything similar, pretty much?
I mean, yeah, pretty much what you said. I mean, Sticks is receiver.
Yeah.
He's pretty good locked down. One of the
Yeah.
best press coverage guys.
He is.
Tough
He
tackler,
really is.
hard hitter. So
I think you flip it over to Stingley Jr., and I think he's the one that intrigues me more than any of them. I think he's who I'd want to get because I think at the value of what he'll be at and what he could be, I think that's a big win for somebody.
yeah, my only knock on that is he's only played one full season in college.
6'1", 195, didn't play, 21 foot surgery, had another injury in 20. 20 and 19, he had the best freshman year ever on PFF or whatever, the grading, led the country in the PFF grade. And he had to cover Chase and Jefferson and them guys in practice. Let's not forget this, guys.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, I don't know. He's just the one I'm intrigued about that. Like, I think he could be a
There's a mock draft
lockdown.
that-
You could get him at 12 or something
There's a mock
sometimes.
draft that saw the Vikings taking him in the first
Oh,
round.
yeah. Where were they
Hey,
Like
12.
12 or 13.
See, and that's what I'm saying. And he falls to that. That is like that's a cornerstone
See,
corner.
Hey,
line.
you- must be four.
But listen, you know who Stingley reminds me of?
Who?
Marshawn Lattimore.
Dude, he's just stud. He's stud. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's an absolute stud. What else did I have on here? Because he plays the 42% was cover one, where they basically just put him in the single safety and put him on an island. who do you trust to do that as a freshman, sophomore, and they're
Man.
just throwing him out
Especially
there.
in the SEC.
I mean, Chase vouched for him. He was hurt a lot. That's his injury prone. That's his knock to me. That
Yep. That and his aggressiveness can get him in trouble at times.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Last season.
But his jam and release downfield is so smooth when you were looking the way he would jam and release. Like he just had so there
Did
was
he
a
play this whole last season?
Played like 3 games, I think, in 2021.
3 games last year, and then of course didn't play the COVID year. So
I mean,
did he play that, or was he injured in the 20?
Man.
Might have been hurt in
changed with
22.
strength and conditioning in the NFL.
But I got hurt
though.
before the year and was out.
Like strength and conditioning is different.
His change of direction's great. I don't know. I don't know. He's the guy I want. That's the one
He could be scary good.
Yeah.
Or
If there was like a Bengals trade move up, you get Stingley Jr. I think.
I mean,
I might.
Yeah,
My
Stingley or
heart will skip a
Gardner.
beat, dog. I ain't
Those
gonna lie
two
to
were,
you.
one of them were going to be the first ones off the board.
Yeah, I had the other ones. I had Kyer Elam. He just comes from a great pedigree. You know, all the other Elams that have played in college and then in pros, etc. You know, he's got a good frame. He's 6'1", 195. He's a big hitter. Great instincts, imposes his will. Honestly, his family members were safeties. He looks like a safety playing corner that's quick enough to play corner right now. But he looks like that could be like a Woodson type transition or something throughout his
Also
career.
played some
or even
receiver in high
earlier.
school, too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, just great with his hands. He's a good press guy too, a real good press guy because of that frame, like you said. Why wouldn't you be that athletic with that frame? Just makes plays everywhere. Kyer Elam, I think they're going to draft him off of more potential, but he could be like a hybrid, corner safety hybrid, the one in this draft, in my opinion. You got anything on him that you wanted to say?
no. I mean, they said notable thing, they said he was a little inconsistent getting off some blocks.
I could see that. I could definitely see some inconsistencies in his game. But you fall in love with the build, with
Oh,
the
for
way
sure,
he moves,
yeah.
the plays that he does when he makes it. I think that's what was obvious that
Yeah.
he has it, but he looks like it. He looks intimidating. He looks like a safety at corner. Yeah, it's definitely a sight to see. And in the SEC,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
why
you're in the
you know,
SEC,
you can
bro.
say what
He
you want.
was
They're
going
playing the
up-
most physical best
Yeah,
ball.
he was probably going up against like Pickens
In
and
my opinion
Williams,
right now.
and he probably played against Chase.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
You got Trent McDuffie, guys, 5'11", 190. He's the smaller guy.
yeah,
He's
he
a
really
zone.
is.
Zone. Didn't run any press, really. Only here or there. Needs to use his hands more. He's a great blitzer off the edge like Sauce. He's very underrated athletically. I think, at 5'11", 190, some guys will say, he's small, he should be. Nah, he's way better athlete than what you think. I think he's not stiff when he moves. Great instincts, great tackler in my opinion. I think he's a late first, early second guy. He was the intriguing fact that I found of that. He was born in London, and I just thought that was nice, cool.
Oh,
He born
okay,
in
yeah.
London.
I act like Washington doesn't put out good cornerbacks either.
Yeah, they do that.
Didn't
We'll give
Goldston
him
play
that.
there?
Well, they had Jimmy Lake there for a while, and then he became the head coach, and then he just got fired. There's a new guy there, but Jimmy Lake was putting in work with the DBs there. He beat
Yeah.
Notre Dame for a few of them.
Who else played there? Marcus Trufant played in Washington
Yep.
too. Like they put out good corners.
Yeah. Oh, they don't mess around. There's more than that. I know that. I'm just drawing
Oh, yeah.
blanks right now. You have anything on Trent McDuffie?
Has a little bit of experience wide receiver too. Yeah.
Both ways guy?
Yeah, can recover quickly from a misstep.
Yep.
Couple of his weaknesses, I mean, he can be dominated by the taller wide receivers and tight ends.
Yeah, if you're
Being a smaller
5'11",
corner, you know what I'm saying?
that can
So,
happen.
I mean, you got to be kind of careful, He might be a good number 2, not necessarily a number 1 right now.
I agree. I think I agree with that.
Maybe even
more so.
maybe even a slot guy.
What I was reading before we started, since I was late to the party on the memo, is that
Yeah.
somebody wrote his execution is beyond his physical traits. So like
Yes.
he's a good athlete, but he executes beyond what his.
Yeah, I think he's a better athlete than what people give him credit for, but at the same time, he's not going to blow you away with it like you're
Right.
saying.
Said he's a solid tackler though.
That's here.
Yeah,
That's what I have on there.
he might be a
Really
good slot corner in the
Yeah,
NFL.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe slot 2 or a slot.
Yeah.
Versus the other guys, they possess lockdown type.
Yes,
physiques.
they do, and
Like,
I mean-
remember-
Make livings off that. Mackenzie Alexander's making
Yeah.
a living off being. a
Oh yeah,
slot
Mike
corner.
Hinton for
Yeah, I mean, it's
Bengals.
kind of been that
Good
trend
slot
now
corner
that
now. Troy Hill.
that I'm kind of
Could be a
noticing
lot
in the
worse
NFL that
comparison.
your
Could be compared to Trey Waynes.
your smaller corners are really good slots.
I don't even want to talk about him.
Why'd you have to go and bring him up, Dave? Man,
Yeah, that pisses me off. That concludes our Midwest Mouthful draft profiles. We flip it over to NCAA football. We have a way too early top 25. We're just kind of all throwing together a little bit. Not going to lie, we've definitely looked at the other sites and seen what they've had, just kind of moved around things. What I do, I need to dig more on what everybody has returning. Guys that I had others receiving votes, we'll just kick that in. We're doing 25 to 21 today, but others receiving votes that I had in my poll. I got Tennessee, Kentucky, LSU, Penn State, Texas, Minnesota, UCLA. A lot of people got Tennessee and Kentucky even in some of their things. I think Texas is the one that has my attention with Quinn Ewers starting.
Oh,
possibly,
yeah.
And Worthy is a top 5 wide receiver in the country. He was a freshman, I believe, last year. Just a freak. So they give me something to be like, ooh, you never know what Brian Kelly's going to do there. Kentucky and Tennessee, Penn State, Franklin, man, he's been recruiting his butt off there. I got 25. I got Pitt. I think with Slavis and Addison still coming back at wide receiver, and they got enough stuff. They have a stable program going over there. I don't think it'll be too far of a slide. Now I don't, slide. I don't think it's like they're 10-2 again, but I think 9-3, 8-4 is realistic, and I think around 25. Some people had them higher. Speaking of higher, some people had Wake Forest, who have got in at 24, way high up there with all the returning production and stuff they have. I just think that their schedule will be easier, and I think they will have a good year. But I don't think it's like some people had them at 10. Someone at 14, at 15. I'm not buying that. 23, I had BYU. They're just always solid. They're never elite, but man, they're just always solid.
They have a good enough schedule that if they can run the table, they could get a New Year's Six bowl.
Oh yeah. Any of these teams really could if they run that table. That's just BYU's independent now though.
Yeah, but
they're like Notre Dame.
Yeah.
They played Notre Dame.
Schedule.
Oh yeah, they do because they're independent now. Welcome to be independent. You got to find people that want to play you, so you got to play tougher teams sometimes. Mr. A la people, Notre Dame's schedule's weak. Okay.
Yeah.
Guys. Okay.
They start with South Florida. They got Baylor, Oregon, Notre Dame's on there, Arkansas, Boise State.
Dude, it's a great schedule.
Stanford.
It's a great schedule. Dude,
they got some trash teams on there,
but that's why I have them
good. They're on there are good.
That's why I have them at 23 because I think they lose a few of those and they still end up a top 25 team, and they're a tough team. Nobody just wants to play because it's not an easy win. Before them at 22, I've got Arkansas. I think they got their quarterback back. They got a lot of production back. Arkansas was a really good up-and-comer last year in the SEC. The coach is back. The momentum's going for the program. Do I think they're going to really threaten anybody? No, but some people had them a little higher too, but I got them at 22. Some people that didn't have these guys in the top 25 at all, I put South Carolina in there, and I put them at 21, and I put them in there because of Spencer Rattler. Because I expect him to have a pretty good year and still be able to win, 8-9 games in SEC even competition. I mean, I've never been fond of some of his attitude things and other things like that. You hear about him, but I don't know the kid. I'm not going to judge him. I think he's a hell of a quarterback. I think whatever he does, he was a kid. He's grown up. He's becoming a man now. I think he's going to make man decisions, and you might see them take a leap this year and next year with Rattler. If you can get him back both years, it would be fantastic. But if he takes off this year, he's gone. Let's be real. He wants to be in the NFL.
Yeah,
that's what it is. If you guys got your top 25 to 21, that's what I was just going to talk about this week, with just those ones, and then next week we'll go on and on as we keep doing them. If you guys got anybody that you want to point that you felt would have been in that area, you can always talk on them too, and I would bring them in next week, or unless you guys just want to go by mine and talk about them and add things about
we can
schools. It's whatever you guys
I kind of want to just.
We really haven't talked.
Maybe
about
I want to. We're kind of. I've seen a couple way too early ones, and I don't know, man. One thing I'm kind of disagreeing with is Cincinnati down here at 24-25.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they're losing some people, but
I had them. I'm not going to go too deep in, but they'll be in my next week. They're slotted somewhere next week.
I'm just.
I had them at 22, but that's because they lost their quarterback, they lost their running back, and they lost two really key.
I had them slowly higher than that, but
I mean, you can't go wrong with 16, 17 to 25 anywhere in that area with them.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
They lost a lot to over.
Yeah.
And for a smaller school to lose a lot of that much production anyways, Dave, you're exactly right. It's tough to replace it. I think the funny team that I've seen in here, the team that's most intriguing, is NC State's been everywhere. They're a little lower, I should say, in mine, but they're right in the middle than some of these other ones.
Yeah, I've seen 15s and
Yeah, there's all
14s.
types. The Houston
I saw
Cougars, a
one.
lot of people got them.
Yeah, you got the,
Houston's coming off a really good season. Don't they
got
get
the
that
Hurricanes up
quarterback
here
back?
at 23.
I don't know. You know, I can't remember much about Houston last year. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm wondering whether
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention.
it's been a slow, good rebuild, and people are just confident in what they have coming back. They got
Yeah.
experts that know a little more than me inside that program.
Well, they get their running back back and they get Clayton Tune back. I'm not sure who that is.
What's the one thing I said? Nico, I am a leave you, or I don't know. Somebody's making fun of it, saying I'm gonna leave you or something.
Yeah.
Said he's destined to transfer. Said they're rumoring $8 million to this kid. That's why he went to Tennessee over Bama and Georgia and all that.
Sheesh.
And I'm just like, who's next, man? Who's getting the next payday? I mean, $8 million, guys,
Who's
that's
getting-
a lot.
Who's getting the next?
NIL deals are
I'll tell you who's getting the next. Arch Manning.
Is he?
Man, man.
Texas gonna pay him big money to come to Texas. You know
he
it.
ain't going to Texas. He's going to SEC school. I bet
I
he
heard
goes
he's going
to
to Ole Miss.
probably so.
Woo, that'd be sweet.
The whole family, but everybody in that
sweet.
family
I'd
went to
love
Ole
that.
Miss but Peyton.
Lane Kiffin and that. Oh yeah.
Peyton was the only
I'd
Manning
be
not
happy
to
as
go
hell
to
for
Ole
you, Lane.
Miss.
And I used to hate Lane. He's a USC guy. But that's the only reason I hated him, because I'm a Notre Dame guy. I've always liked Lane
Oh,
Kiffin.
bro, well, Arch Manning's going to get $10 million to come play for Ole Miss.
I just knew Lane and Notre Dame didn't align, because Lane is too kind of real. You know, Lane keeps it real sometimes,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah.
a little bit too much for
What
that.
happens when you're a younger guy when you get dressed in that spotlight that early?
Yeah.
It really does.
What else did we have? The spring practices are under the way. I mean, there's some more stuff that's going to shape up. We were talking about that a little bit last time, and now some more are actually taking place.
Yeah.
We'll learn more about what some of these teams look like as their games are played, and if me and Jeremy decide to go to a few of them, and it depends. We haven't really talked to Dave or see if we're going to get a group together to go to some of these Ohio State and Notre Dame spring
Right.
games. We plan on it, though, as of right now. Nothing's actually definitive, though, because we all work a lot and got a lot of things going
Yeah.
on.
And if the weather's crappy, we're not trying to sit in crappy
Yeah,
weather either.
exactly.
So,
He said exactly. Midwest mouthful. NCAA basketball, guys. UNC versus Duke. Kansas and Villanova, guys. That was the Final Four. Who got any of those right?
I picked Kansas.
Jeremy picked Kansas win it all. We're screwed. That's what I was telling you the
was
other
not
day.
going to win it, but I had Kansas in the Final Four.
I had Purdue winning it, remember? And I had Gonzaga and I don't know.
I was really upset
everybody
that
else.
St. Peter's lost last night.
I don't pick the own team
But
that I grew
I'm
up.
super happy
That's how
that Duke and North
stupid I am.
Carolina are playing in the Final Four with Coach K being in his last season.
Oh, if we
Like,
can ruin
is
this,
huge.
this would be great. But that, I
Either
think
way,
it's
it's a huge story.
I think it's no. They're not going to let Coach K lose this. I think
But
it's
either way,
rigged
you got-
already.
Dude, it's all come on,
got
man.
NCAA being the or USC being the dark side to just destroy Coach K in the Final Four.
Oh my gosh! See, I said I had Duke winning, and then I had Kansas winning it, but I had Kansas winning by 2 in this. I said winning by 2 because Coach K. They're going to rip out Coach K's heart, and a perfect ending is too much to ask for. That's why I said to joke about like that's what I thought might happen.
let's be
The
real.
only way that
though.
this story is better is if UNC and Duke would have been able to play in the.
Oh, that would have been.
Oh, that
awesome
would have been
too.
sweet. But you know what? This Villanova, Kansas, this should really be Houston, Kansas.
I know.
It
I
really
like
should be.
Houston.
I sat here while
Houston was the better team in my
They were.
opinion.
They
just
were
couldn't,
definitely
they couldn't
better.
hit a shot.
Yeah.
They couldn't hit a shot. When
Man,
when
they
your
were
guards can't shoot,
one of
20 for 3.
Yeah.
You can't win a game that
1
way.
of 20 from 3.
And they were like 7 of 15 or something from free throws. You can't win games those
Yep,
ways.
you can't.
It's just Houston. I loved them. I talked about them earlier on, but you know they did beat Arizona. Like I said that Houston Illinois winner can definitely beat Arizona. I liked Houston all along. I thought the Illinois was the true bump, and then if they got over Illinois, they were gonna beat Arizona. I always felt that. Yeah, they should definitely be here. I kind of put together a little bit of guys that I liked. That Manic for UNC has been on fire. The Kansas and Villanova, Gillespie and Wilkins for Villanova's guard play was crazy. That Palo Blanco or whatever you're talking about.
Hello, Bancaro.
Bear Carroll. Oh man, I don't know how to say his name. That boy's a double machine now. They figured it out. Changed up the offense a little bit. It's definitely going to be fun. We'll be back on the next one to talk a little bit and about who got the MVP and who ended up winning it all. Midwest Mouthful, NBA guys. We talked about all those injuries. You know, it just seems like the thing that's going on right now. Just injuries everywhere. What we had, DeRozan was a groin last week when I looked. Moran, the Bulls sit him. The Bulls sit DeRozan. Zion still out. AD, Steph, Lonzo.
Zion just got cleared for one-on-one drills.
Whew, Kyrie's back, baby. Do they still need Simmons? Can they do something without Simmons?
They
even
said
this
they
year?
spotted Simmons at Nets practice, like the actual practice last week.
You know,
But was he?
They played
Was
last
he?
night, and Kyrie did not look fantastic in a loss
Whew.
to the Hornets.
it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean, do you still got your
LaMelo showed
Sixers?
out. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with my.
I got 76ers and Nets, and I got the Celtics as the dark horses. I got the Suns and the Warriors, and I have the Lakers as the dark horses.
The Nets have a lot of work just to make the playoffs. Like with that loss last night, they got chopped to the 9th seed.
Yeah, yeah, we got
That then those top 4 teams are all separated.
we got
by
the
half
Celtics,
a
like you
game.
said. Can the Celtics hold it now with who'd you say, Tatum?
Tatum
Man?
and Brown are both out.
Man, because I said it earlier to you guys. I'm like, man, the Celtics are surging. You just never know.
I mean, but
man.
here's the
They
question.
play good ball. They got good
Here's the
system
thing.
over there.
Other
Tatum's
than
out
the-
with a knee injury.
Other than the players that we've known have been out for a while, some of these other players that are out right now, are they really injured, or is it just something minor that they're throwing out there so they can get a little bit of rest before the playoffs come up?
Probably smoke screen stuff, but some of these dudes probably have some pretty.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying,
I'm
you know,
not saying that Tatum's knees like blown out, but
Yeah.
yeah,
this much of a season, why not rest him?
yeah, that's that's
For
what I'm
sure,
with
yeah.
him and some of these other players, like
Maybe
you know,
it's just load management type rest right now. They're trying to do because they'll be ready for the
Yeah.
playoffs. They're not worried about a first or a
yeah,
second.
because those
seed.
playoffs start what April 6th or 7th or something like that.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, we're
Lonzo got put on a 10-day break from running after his surgery. His surgically repaired knee didn't respond well to a recent ramp.
Yeah. I had the Lakers as my dark horse actually on the one, like
Lakers,
I said,
huh?
because you never know with them guys. AD gets healthy, you just never know. I had the
Well,
Grizz. I just put who knows with the Grizz.
I
They're just
mean-
so young. I don't think nobody wants to buy into them, but you never know. They can make a credible run right now and do it.
listen, ain't
all
none of us
based on-
really.
On Ja Morant's injury and how bad it really is.
Yeah.
Like if it's one of these, we're gonna let you rest for a while. Like
Yeah.
who's stopping that guy in the playoffs? Like honestly,
Yeah.
You're over here talking about how Lakers are your dark horse. Let's be real. A lot of us don't really like LeBron, but we all know when it comes playoff time, well, he's a different player.
Hey,
and just imagine that with the way he's playing right now, being a different player in the playoffs. Like he's averaging 30 right now.
Yeah.
What 38 and 8 or 37 and 7 or
I
something
mean,
like that.
yeah, I mean,
What,
you get a couple of them
38
other players to step up into playoffs and maybe.
Yeah, he's unreal. He is unreal.
Even if it is a crappy team and there's people are saying he's stat padding at his age, like, are you really gonna get mad at this guy for averaging 30?
Yeah, really. That's what I'm
I
saying.
just
He's
think-
almost averaging his age.
He might as well stat pad anyway. I mean, they're struggling. They're barely in it right now.
Yeah,
If
they're
he-
the 10th.
Yeah, see, so
And he twisted his left ankle, so
Yeah, so now-
day, so
yeah.
who knows?
you go to Midwest Mouthful MLB. Basically, I was just talking about my boy Casty going to the Phillies.
Man.
What's that? Pham just went to the Reds. Carrera to Minnesota. Big trades. We saw Winker and Suarez leave us. Gray went to Minnesota for us. There's been some good ones going on. This was actually where I was hoping Jeremy might help me out on
My
that.
favorite part of
I
this
put up on
MLB
there.
research is that I don't know
The
anybody.
the favorites early on, I don't know. I probably put Dodgers, Mets.
Oh
and then-
yeah, it's gonna be Dodgers for sure in the NL. Probably the Braves, maybe too.
Yeah, I put the Braves, Phillies as dark horses. I put dark horses in the AL, Rays, and even the Twins as a real dark horse. I didn't really know who to pick in the AL. I mean, I don't know Houston Yankees. I don't know the Blue Jays. Are they going to be much improved to
Astros,
be able to
maybe?
do
I'm
it?
not a baseball guy, so
That's
when
what
I
I'm
started
saying,
looking up
Houston.
when I started
Oh,
looking
yeah.
up this stuff, I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. So now
Yeah.
I have to pay attention to baseball more,
Oh,
just
yeah.
to know like
Well, it'll help you though. That's the way
Yeah.
I said it. Just because it's just going to make us well-rounded at every sport now. And I just started getting back into baseball a few more years ago. I had drifted away from it.
Yeah.
My son started playing it now a lot and all this, and it's definitely. And then we had a buddy. We got to shout out our boy Bryant.
Yes.
He's the one that got us into it. When,
Yeah, got us
when
going
were all
back to
working
Reds
a few
games and
years ago.
everything.
Yeah, got us going to Reds games, buying into all the hype and stuff. Unfortunately, they had to blow the team up on us this year.
Yeah, they definitely did.
It is what it is. We'll see everything. It's spring training right now, and everything's going to unravel. And I'm sure, like I said, you'll get more educated. We'll all watch it more. We'll all get a lot better at this. Thanks for watching another episode of Midwest Mouthful, guys. Take care.
See ya.
Peace.
Peace.